Like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
Here are the Anzac Day 2022 dawn services and commemorations near you. Many traditional Anzac Day events are returning after a 2-year pandemic-induced hiatus this year, giving Australians the opportunity to come together to remember the fallen. The day marks the anniversary of the first major military action fought by Australian and New Zealand forces during World War I, when an estimated 60,000 Australians lost their lives. This year, marches, dawn services and parades will be going ahead across the country with varying COVID-19 protocols. As in the past 2 years, Australians are also encouraged to observe a minute's silence in their driveways, living rooms or on their balconies to light up the dawn. You can watch the ABC coverage of parades across the country on ABC iView and on ABC News Channel. You can see what is happening in your state here. ACT large crowds are expected at the national ceremony in Canberra, which will be led by Governor-General David Hurley. The ACT event begins at 4:30 a.m. at the Australian War Memorial, where military personnel will read letters left by veterans about their wartime experiences. The Prime Minister and opposition leader usually attend, but with the federal election underway, neither have confirmed their attendance. For the first time in 3 years, the 5:30 a.m. dawn service in the Memorial's grounds will be open to everyone. Crowds of 50,000, and at times much more, were common in Canberra before the pandemic, even in much colder weather than is forecast for Monday. The Veterans March was cancelled in 2020 and limited last year, but it will return in full, starting at 9:30 a.m. However, its usual route along the city's iconic Anzac parade has been altered this year. The march will instead be closer to the memorial. The memorial's final service, the traditional last post ceremony, is fully booked out and will begin at 4:45 p.m. Both the dawn service and the Veterans March will be broadcast on ABC TV and ABC iView, while the last post ceremony will be streamed on social media. More event information is available here. New South Wales. The state's official Anzac Day dawn service will get underway from 4:30 a.m. at the Cenotaph in Sydney's Martin Place. There is no ticketing or QR code check-in this year, but RSL-NSW says the wearing of masks is still encouraged indoors if you cannot keep a safe distance from others. Anyone attending the Anzac Day march is encouraged to catch public transport to the CBD, with major road closures in place from 2 a.m. until 4 p.m. The march begins at 9 a.m. at the intersection of Martin Place and Elizabeth Street, proceeding down Elizabeth Street and ending at the Liverpool Street end of Hyde Park. A group of veterans representing Middle East operations between 2001 and 2021 will march first this year to acknowledge the first Anzac Day since the withdrawal from Afghanistan and the end of Australia's military commitment to the Middle East. While services are going ahead as normal across the state for the first time in 3 years, RSL-NSW and sub-branches have warned commemorations could change or be cancelled at any time depending on covered announcements from the NSW government. The RSL suggests staying local and rallying your neighbours for the Light Up the Dawn service. It will release a shorter personal service and participation kit for anyone planning to gather in driveways, on balconies or in living rooms at 6 a.m. Northern Territory dawn services will be held in Darwin, Palmerston, Katherine, Tennant Creek and Alice Springs, honouring the service and sacrifice of defence personnel. A 6 a.m. dawn service will be held at Darwin's Esplanade Cenotaph, before veterans, ADF, U.S. Marine Corps and NT police servicemen and women march along Nucky Street in the annual parade at 9 a.m. Around 1,200 people are expected to take part in this year's Darwin Parade, and public access to the events is not ticketed and there are no caps on attendance. In Palmerston, a gunfire breakfast will be served at the Cazaly's Club from 4:30 a.m., before the dawn service begins at 6 a.m. at Memorial Park. The Palmerston March will kick off at 8:30 a.m., starting in the old Bunnings car park. A later morning service will be held at Memorial Park at 9:30 a.m., before veterans and members of the public are invited to take part in 2 up from 11 a.m. at Cazaly's. The Veterans Motorcycle Club and Veterans Australia NT will host a 6 a.m. dawn service at Rachelier House in Bees Creek and at 5:30 a.m. at Adelaide River War Cemetery for rural residents. In Alice Springs, the dawn service will be held at 6 a.m. at the Anzac Memorial Garden Cemetery, before a march from the Alice Springs Town Council Civic Centre at 9:30 a.m. A mid-morning service will be held at 10:30 a.m. at Anzac Oval, while services, marches and gunfire breakfasts will also be held in Tennant Creek and Catherine. The new RAF F-35 jets and Australian Army Tiger helicopters will conduct a fly-past at